somebody here, I'm just reflect on something what happened with my son, and I just wanted to share a message. You know, just want to get something off of my chest and thing, cause like me say, when God pours something in, I have to pour it out, right? And I feel like now is the time for me to just release whatever God poured into me. Anyways, I remember one time when my son was a baby and him just start crawl and a climb and all these things, and the little boy used to climb up on one couch, and when him climb up on the couch, like I could foresee that, you know, you could fall and like hurt yourself. So me as a mother, seeing and knowing the danger, I kept protecting him like every time. So I had to be running behind him 24/7, and I'm like, man, I can't keep doing this. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and whatever. Because like he's not listening. And as a mom, I made a decision. I'm like, I'm gonna let him find out why I keep saying don't go there. But making crawl up, and I did not run after him. I allowed him to just go up, and he fell. He fell. He cried. He come to mommy. Mommy hush him. Guess what happened? Him go back. He went back. Fell again. Come by mommy. Mommy hush him. He went back again a third time. He went up. He fell. Came back to mommy. Mommy hushed him. He didn't go back. So in that moment, God started to minister to me as a mom, and God was saying to me, just as how I allowed him to see what I was protecting him from, and he was able to not go back because he finally figured it out for himself, and he figured out what I was protecting him from. God was saying to me, it's the same thing. Just because I go through things, that doesn't mean that he doesn't love me. There are times when God is saying to us, don't go there. Don't go there. And he's saying it multiple times. He's trying to protect us from the danger that's ahead that he sees. But we want to have our own way, and we just want to do our own thing. And there comes a time when God just says, I'm going to let you go. So sometimes when people go through things in life, they're like, God doesn't love me. God wasn't protecting me. Sometimes it's not that God wasn't protecting you. It's not that God doesn't love you. Sometimes you refuse to listen to God, and you just want to have your own way. You just want to do your own thing when he knows the plans that the enemy has for you, and he's trying to protect you from all of that, and you just insist that this is what I'm going to do. He's not going to force you. He's not going to hold your hands and be like, you are not going to go. He gives us free will. And when you insist, at some point in time, God has to allow you to learn for yourself. Sometimes he have to allow you to go through the fire so you can understand that it will burn you. So you got to be careful. You got to be cautious. Sometimes you go through things. Sometimes we go through some experiences, and it's not to destroy us. It's for us to learn. It's for us to understand. It's for us to make better decisions. It's for us to be better individuals. You understand? Not everything you go through was meant to destroy you. You understand? Sometimes that's the only way. That's the only way, because you are so hard-headed and disobedient. Sometimes God has to allow us to go through some stuff just to protect us. You get what I say? Just to protect us. Just so we can know that, hey, this is gonna hurt me. This is dangerous. I gotta avoid this type of situation. I gotta avoid this kind of person. I gotta avoid. So sometimes he only wants us to acknowledge that this situation is no good for us. This is something we need to avoid, because he's trying to tell us, but we're not trying to listen, and we're not trying to avoid certain situations. So he has to allow us to go through certain experiences for it to hurt us, for us to say, no, I can't go here anymore. I can't do this anymore. I have to stop because this is hurting me. Sometimes God has to allow us to go through that so we can stop. So sometimes the hurt and the pain that you experience is only for you to be cautious. It's only for you to make better decisions. It's only for you to know that this is no good and you can't keep doing this, because sometimes you go through some situation and it hurt us and we do it again and again and again. With all that being said, you see, sometime in our life, you see people going through certain things, you see people doing certain things, and you love them so much and you only want the best for them. You see the danger ahead of them and you're trying to protect them. Sometimes when you're trying to protect somebody from something, they think you're the bad guy. When I tried to stop my son from climbing, from being hurt, from doing all that, he would cry. He would cry like I was hurting him, I was doing something bad to him, when I was protecting him. You understand? And that's how some people are. Sometimes you see the danger ahead of them and you try to warn them, you try to protect them, and they think you're the bad guy. Sometimes you literally gotta let people go through the fire. You literally gotta watch them walk straight through the fire. You literally gotta sit and watch them get burned. And when them a cry, you hush them, and when they go back, you hush them again. When they go back and get burned, you hush them again. And however many times, you just gotta be there to support them when they go and when they insist that this is what I'm gonna do. Don't try to stop them. Sometimes it's the only way for them to learn. When somebody make up their mind and say, this is what I'm gonna do, this is how I'm gonna do what I'm doing, it doesn't mean you don't love them, but sometimes you literally gotta let them learn. Sometimes it's the only way for them to do better. You just gotta let them go through the fire. They gotta get burned, and that's when they'll learn. This is not a good situation for